right. I can hear Jay in the background getting all set up. So we'll see what we've got here. Actually, we'll go to check. Do you hear me, Jay? Jay? Hello, Jay. All right. I just sent him a private message saying I hear him. All right. So we'll go back. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. So many. Oh, I didn't share my screen. Here we go. Share. There we go. All right. I don't know that there's really been a whole lot of change going on. So Jay's still doing stuff in the background. I can hear it. So we were on stage 7 before. He was looking to go to stage 8 and stage 11. Strange women lying in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government. I have no idea what movie that's from, but okay. It's like Cody Menard right now is the stage winner for the time being. The other thing we didn't talk about with Joey earlier was he is shooting minor. He's not shooting major. So he's shooting limited minor. But here's the thing about let's talk about this afternoon and let's go oh, squad 108. There we go. So this one's a little different. This is a Hillsdale College squad, their action shooting team. And I'm trying to see. So Brendan Burnham is 66th at the moment. What is going on? Why are there no? There are no scores for. Let me check something here. 109. Only a couple of people there. Interesting. I'm not sure what's going on at the moment. I know Jay said that practice score wasn't completely updated, but yeah, it's missing a lot of scores at the moment. You guys can reach out to Alex Mansfield from Manny Talk Shooting and ask him what's going on with the scores because he's the one of the two scorekeepers, if you want to call it. So, but 108 and 109 have Hillsdale College student athletes. So Taylor Chin is on squad 109. He's the team captain, but John Beecher and one moment. It's going to look like everything slides off. I'll have to go back and look. But there we go. I just heard a golf cart drive by in the background. I haven't heard any. I can hear background noise with Jay, and I haven't heard any shooting. So I'm not sure that they're actually have commenced shooting after the break at the moment. So at 3:38 he texted me, Jay did, and said, looks like practice score might not be fully updated. I have 108 not done with 9 yet, but I'm going to switch to portable chargers and head that way. So that's why I went ahead and came on screen, thinking that maybe at some point we'll be going live shortly. So Taylor Chen is on squad 109, and John Beecher and Kayla Mullen are the team. So Taylor Chen is the team captain at the moment, but he's a graduating senior. So John Beecher and Kayla Mullen will be the team captains for next year. And they're both on 108, who will be following as soon as Jay goes live. So I'm not hearing anything from Jay at the moment. I don't think he's we can find out real quick. Yeah, he's offline as you can see. So all right. There we go. So practice scores, the weather is definitely causing some technical difficulties. So we'll have to wait and see what gets updated. So let's talk while we're waiting. Um, apparently, according to Jay's notes that he came up with. What's that, Jay? I guess he didn't. Is everybody headed back to the stages to shoot?
It seems like, yes, everyone's kind of getting back out onto the range.
All right. So getting back to what we were just talking about while we're waiting, Jay put down in his notes that Hillsdale right now is focused more on SASP, which is Scholastic Shooting Program, but seems like they're moving more towards USPSA. We do know that Bowling Green, Clemson, Navy, Michigan State, Michigan Tech, and Pasadena City College all have action shooting teams. So we're going to try to find out who else has them. And right now, I've been talking with the Hillsdale team captain about maybe an impromptu short interview by Jay there at the match, and also having him as well as the other two team captains for next year coming on the podcast to talk about college level action shooting teams. So I've reached out to Clemson several times and never heard back. So that's not blaming them for anything. It could be one of those messages that they just never see. So it is what it is. So I am going to see what Jay has here in his notes. I'm trying to see. I don't see anything for. Oh, there's John Beecher. Okay, here we go. So Kayla Mullen is shooting limited. Yep, limited minor C class. She's from Texas, and she was part of Hillsdale's winning team last year. John Beecher, limited optics B class, sophomore from Illinois. And according to Jay's ELO software, this is his first appearance at a USPSA major. So we'll have to keep tracking these scores pretty closely and see how well he does. As a matter of fact, let me just go back to that. There we go. And you can see here's Kayla Mullen here, John Beecher up here. And I know they've shot at least one, if not two stages. So I don't know what's going on with practice score at the moment. I switched screens back because Jay's in and out right now trying to get stuff set up and see what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting some scores here. Again, the weather, they've had lightning, they've had thunder, they've got stuff going on. So it's definitely messing with everything. It's messing with Jay's connection to the internet. But I think that first stream we did was very successful. Again, as far as I'm aware, nobody in the country has done live drone coverage of a match as it's happening. We do a bunch of drone stuff and then we post the videos later, but Jay spent a lot of time over the last couple of months figuring out what parts he needed to be able to transmit these stages live via his drone, because drones don't have microphones. They don't. So he had to come up with a way to be able to stream it live, the entire feed, audio, video, the whole 9 yards, from his controller to the internet. And then I'm in Virginia still, he's in Ohio. So we're connecting onto my streaming platform and then we're sending it to you guys. So there's a lot of moving parts here. So you guys are literally seeing history as it happens. And I got to give all the credit to Jay. He's busted his butt over the last few months trying to figure it all out. I think he's done a great job. So we do have, let's see. So we have several ladies on this squad. We have Kayla, Clara, and Gianna. Jonah Kirsten. Where's that at? Kirstein. There we go. So he, production minor C class. According to Jay's notes, he actually has two production stage wins at Alabama State earlier this year. That's pretty impressive. Now all of these shooters, obviously they're college age. So, and looking at their Instagram page, they all seem fairly fit. So I can imagine that they have zero issue maneuvering through stages and being able to use speed to get themselves around. So as a matter of fact, maybe, well, no, I'm not going to do that. I was going to say I could slap up a Big Russ. Yeah, it is a Starlink setup. Um, Cardinal. So Corey Katz, when we were there last year, they had Starlink, and Corey's pretty knowledgeable about that Starlink setup. But I think they did a few things to improve it significantly. The problem today is just the weather is freaking terrible. Springtime, So right now the problem is just the weather. So we're just having to deal with that at the moment. So let's see. What else do we have here? I said there were three. Let me go back to their Instagram page here. Where was? Oh no, wait, that was it. It was on the practice score page. Yeah, Gianna Coppola, Clara Bose, and Kayla Mullen. Sweet. Gianna's a sophomore, and she just registered in September 20th of last year. So she hasn't even been a USPSA member for a full year. So she's new. Like I said, Kayla's a sophomore. Let's see what else we have down here. Stephen Try, TRI, 381 stages on record. But according to Jay's notes, it's a very volatile ELO history, meaning it's like a roller coaster, up, down, up, down. He said from low B to mid A, back and forth over time. So currently on an upward trend. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. And if you look, I'll move my cursor over here. He's right here. So he's shooting open major, or yeah, I'm not sure. So he must be, I don't know, is that super senior? Maybe he's a super senior. So just someone else on the squad with um the the Hillsdale team. Colin Maxon, open masterclass shooter, 84% at area 5 last year, and according to Jay, that's his only prior match with an open gun. He's an accomplished limited shooter over a 7-year career in that division, in the top 100 at number 88. So Colin Maxon, with limited, is ranked at number 88 for USPSA. But he has a slightly lower career alpha percentage than his peers. Jay just texted me and he said, let me read it to you. 108 is going on to 11 right now. I'm ready. Should. I guess he's saying he should be ready. But I'm not getting any feed from him. You're seeing what I'm seeing. So I just texted him back to let him know. Like I said, you guys are seeing this live as it happens. So I have to wait and see. That's a pretty interesting Milky Way universe picture, I guess. So there is a PCC shooter, Thomas Bresniak. He has 41 stages over 4 matches starting in 2023. Strong, according to Jay, strong contender for PCC C-class winner. He's done it 3 out of 4 times before. All right. So we're just hoping that Jay will get this going here in a moment and we can be live. Again, you guys are seeing the technical difficulties that are involved with trying to do this. Oh, Jay just texted me. He's got to go back to his vehicle, I guess, to check some settings. Okay. So he's going to take care of that real quick. Should just be a minute or so, and then he'll be back up. one of Jay's notes was he appreciates all the iron sight action from the Hillsdale team competitors, which I do not, Jay. Just saying. And this is interesting too. Youth equals better vision most times. So, at that time, we all saw iron sights much better, much, much better. I don't know if you guys saw it. I did some testing with some new ammo, and I took some of the ammo I got was 45 caliber. So I took my 1911 out to shoot this ammo through, and I had black iron sights and black steel. And I was trying to be target focused, and the group was at 15 yards. It was probably 12 inches. It was crazy because I really couldn't see the front sight trying to be target focused at 15 yards. So the next group, I had to be front sight focused, and then I had a decent group. But holy cow, crazy. I'm trying to see if Jay has anything else in here notes wise that might be interesting. But I'm not seeing anything more out of that. And it looks like we had another person who did not show up for the match. So, because it looks like squad 111 before. Yeah. Keith Larkin, the Optics Grandmaster, didn't show up, unfortunately. So, whoa, look at there. We saw Anthony Della Pena shoot earlier. So, it looks like he's having a decent match so far. Let's go back to 108. There we go. They've got goodness gracious.
I think I should have my stuff fixed momentarily, so I'm going to head back out on the
Hey!
stage once I've done that, and hopefully this second time is the charm.
Okay. There we go. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Goodness. They have 6 names on this squad that start with a B or a C. Holy cow. It's probably the first time ever that Gianna last name starts with a C that she had 5 people in front of her. So it's crazy. I'm not seeing any other match notes that Jay had up here. So, but going back to the Hillsdale team, last year in October, I think they hosted the 2024 USPSA Collegiate Championship. So they had 2 days, 12 stages of competition. But that's where I found out that some of those other teams, like I knew of Clemson, Bowling Green, Navy, but they also said Michigan State, Michigan Tech. And then I saw a picture where they mentioned Pasadena City College too. So that would be huge for the sport to see more and more colleges/universities getting involved. Great for the sport, great for everybody. So once Jay gets up and this squad finishes shooting, we're supposed to go live again not long from now. So I may end up just not even ending this live stream, just putting back up the standby screen. And then once the shooting starts, we'll get back to talking live again. So we're also right around the corner from Handgun Nationals. Let's see. I'm sorry, Factory Gun Nationals. I don't know why. Factory Gun Nationals. Okay. Sometimes trying to. Oh, I hear noise. The screen's changed. So Jay is connected again. We're just waiting for him to actually show us something. I can hear him walking. You guys should be able to hear him too at this point. Sig Sauer Factory Gun. Let me pull that up. Oh, I'm in scores. That's why. Good Lord. I was looking at the breakdown of all the competitors at Factory Gun Nationals, and it is far and away more than 75% or about 75% of the match is carry optics. Huge number of carry optics. You know, it's interesting. They give you the breakdown when you look at the match breakdown on Practice Score of the staff. So, what they tell you is 73 people are staff, 454 are not, total of 527 competitors. But I would be curious to see, of the 454, how many of those are free slots, vendor slots that have been given out, things of that nature. So I would be curious to see how many of those 454 are paying slots. Let's see what the percentage is here. Oh, there we go. We're getting there. It's a lot of noise. Sorry, guys. I don't want to mute him right now because even though he gave me permissions, who knows what would happen. So I'm not going to mute him. We're going to have to live with the noise. 9 divided by 527. 80%, 79.5% of the registered shooters, competitors for Factory Gun Nationals next month, because it is next month, June, are 79.5% of them are carry optics. Now, let's check something else. Let's check. Vortex Optics Race Gun Nationals. Vortex Optics. Whoop. Good Lord. Come race gun.
For goodness sake.
Why am I not seeing it? Vortex Optics Race Gun Nationals. Vortex Optics Race Gun.
Dave, do you have audio for me?
I do have audio from you. I have no video.
Yep. Just getting the drone set up now.
Okay.
Slight USB problem with my computer. Had to unplug and replug into a different spot.
Okay. Well, we can't look at Race Gun Nationals in practice score right now because I don't see anything in there. So it's not open for registration yet, clearly. All right, we do have audio from Jay. I can hear.
And we'll
Golf
should
cart.
have video shortly.
Sounds like they have started back shooting, though. That's a good thing. And we lost them.
We picked up, I think, at about 340 or so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think I've got video.
A
Should
man
be video
and his
in
horse.
just a moment. Oh yeah, the classic DJI app loading screen.
So, Jay, while you've been working on that, I was looking at the match breakdown for Factory Gun Nationals, and 80% registered competitors are Carry Optics. So, is this stage 11, Jay?
This is stage 11.
All right. Sweet child of mine. No idea what squad this is here.
This is Squad 108, I believe, as we wanted to follow up on.
Okay.
I don't see quite who's. I think I'm going to pop around the corner real quick and read off the back of her shirt, though.
Okay, good. So all we know right now is it's a female. And when he comes back on, I'm going to have him zoom in a little bit to give us a little bit closer view. You can hear me echoing on Jay's end. Here, oh, and there's the beep. Whoa, somebody took off running like a bat out of you know what. I love the sense of urgency. Jay, are you back?
That was yep, that was Gianna Coppola. So I believe we just kind of got in toward, well, maybe hopefully toward the beginning of Squad 108.
Okay.
Yeah, Gianna, as I believe I heard you say, as I was driving back and forth a bit, sophomore at Hillsdale College, and I'm almost certain I heard you say the other fact.
I am pulling it up just to make sure that, yes. And a new USPSA shooter since September of last year. Well, let's see how she did. Let me hit the old refresh button.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, Mike Hurts. Oh, wait, that
Absolutely.
was...
that was 10,
Adam.
Potentially. Ah.
Oh, her score hasn't popped up yet. There you go. That's better. Little zoomy action is good.
So I will stay. Yep, that's the joy of the Mavic 2 Zoom. That zoomy action.
Yes.
So stage 11 here is it's a very compact little thing, but it's another one of the. It's a I think substantially more positional than stage 7 was that we saw earlier. So in this one, a couple of options, but no matter where you are, you're going to be forced to usually very small spots by steel.
Okay.
Do you have the squad in order up, Dave?
Well, it would have gone from Burlew to Coppola to, well, at that point, I have to just figure it out. Looks like Jonah Kirstein.
Yep, that it appears to be what's on the back of his shirt up there.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
I got to say, I appreciate that the Hillsdale team has put their names in relatively big print on the back of their shirts. That makes it a whole lot easier.
Yes. Thank goodness.
So one thing I'm interested in, I may or may not have the chance to talk to one of them after this stage, is sort of how the intercollegiate scoring works when you get together for collegiate competition. If it's like a kind of the same as say like a world shoot team, or you pick 4 people and get their top 3 scores, or if there's more to it than that.
I would hope so,
But
but yeah, that would be interesting to see if there's a difference.
it looks like Christian's up to go, so we'll let him get his run in.
Okay.
Interesting. So definitely using his height a bit there at the back corner on the right to get around that barrel stack.
Okay, yeah, we can't. I couldn't
I
see
do
that
see.
from my perspective.
Yeah, so I guess on Gianna's run just before, you saw that she had to kind of round that final barrel in the. Well, I can point. I forgot about that. Sorry about the crazy stick movements. So right in this corner here, Gianna had to kind of step in and around that barrel. Jonah's able to kind of plant his foot on the fault line by that double barrel stack and get around the corner for the last 2 shots there.
Okay. So, do you know what it looks like? She missed an array. Did she skip a whole array of targets?
I did not see. I was still getting kind of situated at that time.
Okay, because it's showing in her final score she had 6 mics and a penalty. So I'm guessing she missed an array of targets. So
Possibly. If it's just one penalty, I'm not sure that would be the case. But I did see that Jonah
true.
left that steel standing there. You can see the RO on the top left of the screen kind of guarding it.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you about that because I was like, I never saw it fall. It looks like it's up, but I don't know.
He did shoot at it a couple of times, but I don't think he
So
finished
not an
the job there.
FTSA. Gotcha.
Yeah, just
Just a
the mic on
mic.
steel. I think we've got Colin Maxon on deck.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. That's what I would see here. Followed by Kayla Mullen. Now, Jay, since we're
Yeah,
in between
Maxon.
shooters, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying Maxon. I believe he covered that, but he's spent a lot of time in limited. Now working on the fast guns.
Yes. And you said he's number 88 in limited.
Yep, on the 88 overall on the ELO list all time, actually, going back to the beginning of my data.
Oh, okay. How far back does your data go?
2018. So not the entire history of the sport by a long stretch, but once you get to earlier than 2018, practice score results for matches start to get a little bit spotty.
Agree. So I was, while we're in between shooters, I was messaging with the Hillsdale team Instagram page, and Taylor Chen said he is the graduating senior team captain.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I spoke with him briefly at lunch. Did not get a chance to get that on camera, but maybe we'll try and catch up with him at some point today.
Yeah, because I said that you were there operating the drone and you may be reaching out for an interview at the match. And he's like, awesome. So,
Yeah, we'll see if we can make something happen there. So I'm
okay.
not totally sure what we got going on. Oh, calibration. Ah, okay. Yeah, so we had so
Oh,
clearly Jonah hit that steal and is now looking to see if we can. Nope. And
oops.
that it looks like it's going to be at least halfway to a calibration failure. We'll get the steel set back up, and we'll see what the second shot does.
It looked like it fell on that first shot, right?
It did. So the steel calibration nowadays, you get the first shot. If it falls on that, then the person who set it up hopefully goes back and sets themselves, and then the RO making the calibration shot will shoot it again, just in case there was some setup error that the person restoring the stage made.
Gotcha.
So as far as technique and tactics go on this stage, while they manage the calibration there. So one thing we saw during Jonah's run was a very clever use of positioning again. So he came in on his way back on the left side of the stage. He came in through a port to the uprange most target on the left there. Then he took kind of a plant step to get kind of a plant step on his left foot, swung his right foot out. That puts him in position to get the open paper there, just kind of downrange and outside of that first paper I was talking about, and the popper that is currently being calibrated.
Okay.
It's a failed calibration, or rather a successful calibration call, and Jonah's score will stand as shot.
So it's going to be a mic.
Yep. Which I believe brings up Colin Maxon. At least as soon as the ROs clear the stage.
Right. Hopefully, anyway.
Yep. It's one of those things. The limiting factor on a fair bit of what we can do with this style of coverage is how long my drones can stay in the air, and we're about halfway through a battery on one. Well, I guess two shooters now. That said, I am up to 12, so we should be good for a while longer. So
It's amazing.
once this squad wraps up, yep, go on.
I was just going to say, it's amazing how long it takes to do all of that when you need to calibrate something.
Yes, it's a very yes, but I think more equitable than the old one was. So the start position on this stage from the original matchbook changed from facing uprange hands on marks to facing downrange hands on marks. So you can see Colin's got his hands
Mm.
behind him there on the plate, and he's off. So
Nice.
something I noticed looking, a very very quick run. The one makeup on steel in the front slowed him down a bit, but he nevertheless got that done he got that done very efficiently. Um, One thing I noticed looking through his stats is that Colin kind of historically has been on the on the side of thinking, well, it's a Charlie. That's basically that's just an alpha in major, and always quick on his feet. That style of competitor.
Okay. Now the next shooter is Kayla Mullen. Now she is one of two team captains coming up for next season.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, John Beecher and Kayla Mullen are going to be the team captains next year.
Yeah, Kayla, a sophomore out of Corinth, Texas.
I wasn't going to say the town, but okay.
Hey, if it's on the Hillsdale website, it's fair game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would agree then.
Yep. Yeah, the ones so on in my notes, the ones who didn't have a hometown listed are the ones who don't have a hometown on Hillsdale's site.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So among other things, I don't know if you covered this during the thing, but during the previous year's intercollegiate USPSA championship, Hillsdale put that on at their home range. Kayla was part of the winning limited team.
Okay, so they did host that match.
Yes, that was their facility.
And they're in Michigan, aren't they? Oh, here we
They
go.
are, yes.
It's like
Yep,
she's
there she is,
about.
gun on the table.
Yeah.
The very aggressive final visualization there.
Very aggressive. It was
So
very interesting how aggressive that visualization
yeah,
was.
her final visualization, I think, very much captured the style of movement she wanted to put down on the stage. And
Agree.
I think she moved actually very well through that stage.
Agree.
Little bit shaky on that back popper from the back left position, but nevertheless, I think again the movement of that run something to be proud of, something to build off of certainly, especially for someone who's only a sophomore. That's two more years of getting better, and that's so there's more to come I think on that front. Also
100%.
worth noting. So in my conversation with Taylor Chen earlier, I heard that apparently it was actually a tough sell to get Hillsdale on board with the idea of an action shooting team, which Hillsdale it's got the reputation as, if you'll pardon the online slang, a based kind of college, extremely conservative in its outlook. If they had a hard time there, certainly I expect it'd be a tough sell other places as well.
Yeah, if it's a hard sell at Hillsdale, it's even more difficult everywhere else.
Yeah, I do see why it might be the case, but even so. All right, do you know who we've got up next?
This should be
Probably Stephen
Tree.
or Tree.
Yeah, Stephen Try.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, he's going to be the last one before a battery swap, I think.
Okay.
Speaking of, you might be able to hear the low battery beep on my controller.
Oh yeah, I do hear it.
Well, hopefully Stephen's quick. quick enough. Certainly.
All right, Jay, I'm going to leave you here. I'll leave you on while you swap out the battery. Everybody
All
can
right.
watch.
Quick pit stop then, and
So we were just talking
yeah,
about
you'll see
Kayla
the
Mullen, and
yes.
her score was pretty good. 85% points. She was 17 Alpha, 7 Charlie. She did have a Delta. But I mean, for a C class brand new USPSA shooter, I don't see any issue with it.
Yeah, it is worth noting that the Hillsdale team is pretty brand new. I think they've been around 2 years, possibly. I could be misremembering that, but certainly it's not a well-established program. So it's interesting to see USPSA style shooting as a collegiate sport, and also I hope to see more of it in the future.
Yeah, 100%. Now, she's shooting limited minor, and I noticed so is Joey. Did did you pick up on Joey shooting limited
Joey
minor?
is as well. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I happened to notice when I
I did not.
was
All right, I don't
looking
know
in the
who we've
score, I was
got
like,
up now. I
minor.
think this is actually looking
This
at the back
should
of the jersey. I think this is Adam Burlew, who is the actually the head coach of the Hillsdale team.
Okay, so Clara Bose is not shooting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I saw. No, I see Clara there. I think
Maybe she
just
was the
between
first
me and Adam
shooter then.
actually could have been. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess I would have expected
No. Yeah, that doesn't.
to see
No, Adam
Beecher, and
Adam Burlew already shot.
oh, did he?
Yep.
Well, maybe this is John Beecher then.
That
That
yeah,
makes sense.
this
Yeah,
is John
probably John
Beecher,
Beecher.
and he is the one of the team captains for next year. Handling business.
A pretty effective run, I would say. Got through the stage
Yeah.
quickly. Moved fairly well. Of course, speaking for myself in my mid 30s, and of course, Dave, you've got a little bit more mileage on you than that.
Couple more months.
I, th- I think it's easy to forget how easy it is to move like that. The younger you are.
Yeah, for sure. And I read your note about you enjoy all the iron sight action, and I'm like, well, yeah, they're all college age kids. They can pretty much see stuff. But I
That's a fair
thought,
point. I was
go ahead.
say go on.
I was going to say John seemed to handle the steel very well in that.
Yes, there one makeup on the steel in the back from that center left position uprange, but nevertheless, I think I'm pretty sure I saw him stay on that steel. So it was a called miss and a called makeup, which is what you like to see.
What were you going to say?
Goodness, I don't remember.
You're only mid 30s. Come
Another
on, you
thing
shouldn't be having this many memory issues.
I say it's another thing that separates me from the college students. That
there,
lack of memory.
there you go. Oh, that's funny. All right, let's.
I think probably maybe not all the way last, but Clara Baze now up in here on stage 11.
Okay, yeah, and Brendan Burnham should be after this.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I think we saw a bit of a mistake there. You
Oh,
noticed
okay.
as yeah, so she ran back to the right first, and I think having to sort of shuffle a couple of steps back further to get to the two targets far right on camera. The first you see as you come around that corner. I think that shuffle maybe threw her off a little bit because she did run right past the back left steel there.
Oh no.
Yep,
That's crushing.
it is. You hate to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jay, I want to ask you while the Hillsdale team is shooting, you said Adam Burlew is the head coach.
Yes, I believe so.
So we have a team captain and a head coach.
Yeah, that I think seems fairly reasonable based on the structure of other college sports.
Okay.
I know one of our commenters was interested in seeing a PCC shooter, and I think we've got one at the bat right now.
Oh, Thomas Bresniak.
Ah, yep. So yeah, as we covered before, a strong contender for a PCC win, a PCC C class win, that is to say. Uh,
Right. Not overall.
one of those people, right? It's fairly stacked here in PCC overall. Even shooting iron sights as he still is in preparation for the World Shoot. Corey Scheel is always a threat to win. Mark Schulte is coming as well. It's a pretty good field, even if there's not necessarily. I guess Corey and Mark are probably national names at this point, but certainly not a Max Leograndis. There's not really anybody else on that tier, I suppose.
Right. Just a quick note before he shoots here. Colin Maxon right now has the stage win for this stage.
Solid.
It looks like Thomas is a Hillsdale shooter.
Thomas, I believe, is actually not a Hillsdale shooter, just
Okay.
another competitor at the match here. Yeah.
Okay.
He's got, I think, some like similarly colored shoulders, but the rest of his jersey is white, whereas Hillsdale is blue.
Gotcha. Okay. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how his score comes up. John
Yeah. This,
Beecher
I think,
right
I
now
mean,
is
I don't.
currently seventh on the stage.
Solid. That was that's a good one. He's in production, correct?
John Beecher is limited optics, but to give
Limited.
some context to this, Leif shooting carry optics is ninth. So John is
Impressive.
actually two places. Yeah, very impressive. Colin
Yeah,
Maxon on
that's a good
this
run. He beat some.
stage.
He
Go ahead.
yeah he beat some big names. He's ahead of Leif, like you mentioned, ahead of Manny Mansfield. Uh, beat Rhodey Heater as well. Rhodey is a I don't know if he's a Pittsburgh area shooter, but I see him a lot in the Pittsburgh area matches. So, well, it looks like that is squad out here. I don't have anything planned until we get. Well, I guess I've got something planned probably pretty shortly, depending on how quickly they're getting through stuff on Zone 1. So I'm probably going to land the drone and head down to try and catch Squad 102 on Stage 1.
All right. We'll catch you when you come back.
All right, sounds good.
All right, folks, I'm going to take a moment to take a personal break real quick. We're going to give Jay a couple of minutes, and I'm not going to end the stream. We're going to keep the stream going. I'm just going to put up the other screen, and then I'll see you back in about 4 minutes. All right, folks, we are back. Stage 1, Squad 103.
So on my schedule, I had Squad 1.
So it looks like we've lost Jay. Looks like his image is frozen. He's actually closer to his transmitter too, so we'll have to see, but he just put his drone up, so it should have been good. There we go. You said this is David Leak. All right, we lost him again. So we keep losing Jay. I'm not sure what the technical difficulties are at the moment. So, Jay, you there? Hello? Jay, can you hear me? I don't know if Jay's battery ran down and he had to make an emergency landing or what. Hmm. Not getting anything from him. Oh. That's one of the clearer images we've gotten all day. So him moving to zone 1, which is probably 100 yards. He's probably 100 yards roughly from the transmitter receiver that he's got to send to. So we should have much clearer images when he does zone 1, which is stages 1 through 6. This being stage 1, this would actually be the farthest distance away from his location. Even stage 6 would be closer. Somebody's working on their GAT. Looky there. Jay said I could mute him, but again, I don't know. So you have to deal with this. The drone is also, or maybe his phone is a lot closer to, which is his controller, to a stage, which is why he's getting such loud noise. All right. There we go. So this is Squad 103. David Leak is supposed to be, he was the one we were watching before the feed froze. So if he's first, then you have Daniel Martinson, Evan McAllister, Barton McBride, Steve Woods, and Greg Zombek. So got a couple of master class shooters, A class. So only 2 old guys. Oh, we've got a third. I didn't see the I had to scroll there for the other masterclass shooter, who is a distinguished senior. Make that two old guys. I can say that. Jay is completely offline, so I'm not sure what's going on. But thank you guys for being here this first time ever. Oh, Jay is reconnected. Let me see. I'm going to wait till I see the drone get off the ground before we switch back. But those are our shooters right now. And Roger Elder is in, looks like first place for the moment. We'll just update scores in general. Now, we'll go to stage 1. There we go. So we've had two individuals shoot. We had David Leake and Daniel Martinson. David Leake had a good run, puts him in 6th overall for stage 1 at this moment. 18 alphas, 12 Charlies, and a Delta. So not a huge A-class percentage. It's only 60% A or alphas. I'm sorry. 60% alphas on that run. But Daniel Martinson was very similar in CO. And the stage, let me pull that up. I had pulled, there we go. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just slap this right over the screen here. Are you back? Okay. What happened? Okay. Your video feed is back on the screen. I know at least 2 people shot while you were gone.
Back in the air.
All right, so Jay is definitely having some technical difficulties. But if someone's going to have technical difficulties, I'd much rather it be him. He's been working on this for a couple of months, so he's very familiar with his gear. So, did you say you're in the air, Jay? No, you're saying you're offline. Okay. That was just me being funny. All right, let's go back here for a second. So let's talk. I've got to stop that share screen. I am going to, where are you at? There we go. We'll do that. Share that. We're going to add this to the scene. So this is basically, let me just crop this down so we don't, I'm even going to do that. There we go. I'll slide that right up in that spot. So here it is right here. Stage 1, we want a shrubbery straddling the start stick with wrists below belt. Upon the audible start signal, engage targets as they become visible from within the shooting area. Stack 31 rounds, 155 points, 14 cardboard, and 3 steel targets. So let's just take a look at it. So it looks like there's your start position right there. I'm thinking they're probably running to the right, engaging the targets down here, engaging this target when they get done, moving down, engaging targets as they go, come down here, engage. It looks like I'm guessing this target and I'm not sure. Okay, I'm guessing you're going to have to engage this one here from all the way back here. So they're going to have to go all the way into the corner to get these targets, except for that steel. That steel is not going to be visible. And then that one, come over, engage these, engage that, come around, and then engage here and here before moving to the next shooting box, in which case you're going to have to engage these targets all the way in the back. That's what it would appear to me. So we're going to say that's what this stage is. Jay is texting me. So I'm letting him know. He thought he just lost audio again, but I'm letting him know that he totally lost connection. So, but that's the stage. That's what it looks like. So there we go. Let me go back to that. Not quite. There we go. Now we're back to competitor practice score. Practice score competitor app. So we know we had at least a couple of people. Let me kind of update this real quick. Let's go back to stage 1. So 4 people have shot that stage thus far. We've had a PCC, 2CO, and an open shooter. We have 3 mics and 3 deltas thus far. And other than Evan McAllister, it looks like the alpha ratio is probably a little on the lower side. As I said, David Leake, who is a PCC master, his alpha is less than 60%. So, all right, looks like Jay might be back. Can you hear me, Jay? I can hear myself going over his equipment, but he's not responding. So he may be muted at the moment. I don't know. And it looks like he's gone again. All right. So 18 alphas is roughly 60% of the total stage. And 2 of them had 18, one of them had 17. The other one did have 22. So you're still under 3/4 or under 80%. And shooting CO and PCC, you probably want a higher alpha ratio than that, but that's where we're at. So looking at the times, I mean, you can definitely tell David Leake went through the stage pretty quickly. 22 seconds. He was definitely the fastest one getting through it. Barton McBride on the slower end with the 2 mics, so that hurt his hit factor. Now, Roger Elder is also a PCC master, but he's going to be, they'll go through the list, they'll shoot Steve Woods, and then Roger will be up to shoot. I can hear Jay's drone, his audio, but I can't hear any, or I'm sorry, I can't see any video with it. He did say his dongle seemed like is overheating. No, since this is not a Steve Anderson podcast, that does not have an alternate meaning. It's a USB dongle. It's overheating. And Steve Woods just shot. So now we have Roger Elder up next. And Steve Woods had a rough time of it. 2 penalties, a no shoot, 5 mics. So that's going to leave a mark. Ugh. It's always having, shot a few nationals and some majors and stuff. When you have a stage like that, it can be disheartening, especially when, even though you're not vying for a match win. So it can be demoralizing to a point. This is where he's going to need to maintain focus and probably just say, you know what, any chance of winning anything, class win, anything is probably over with. So I'm just going to shoot to have fun and learn what I can, experience what I can, and move on from there. Take it as a learning experience, which everything is. Even if you win a match, there's still a learning experience there. I'll be really interested to see. Now, Mr. Elder is a distinguished senior, so he may not have the fleet of foot speed to keep up with David Leake. I am seeing some audio. I'm sorry, video. I keep saying audio. I've had audio. That's all I've got for video. Looks like Jay is launching. He is back in the air.
Hopefully, you've got audio too.
I do have audio. I've
Excellent.
had audio. I just have had
See,
no video.
yeah, I had to walk from my laptop back to my car, my little streaming outpost here down at Bay One. So that was, as you said, Roger Elder. Roger has been shooting in the Pittsburgh area for a long time. For a while, he ran the match at East Huntington, the one of the clubs southeast, I believe, of the city, which actually recently headed off to Nathan Lynch, who is pretty active on Instagram. Name you might recognize.
Yep, I do.
I think you've had him on the show too, Dave.
That is correct. I sure have. So if you
And I
wanna
think
if
this
you
one
wanna
might
learn about
actually.
Nathan Lynch, just go to the Casual Shooters podcast and you can look up the episode and listen to them. I think
He
they're
is a
all
really
good
interesting fellow.
episodes.
That's
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I pick and choose the ones I listen to based on people I know or am interested in finding out about, but I haven't heard a
Of
bad one yet.
course. I don't blame you. I do the same thing with any podcast.
Yep. Well, especially like Dave goes so in depth with people. I've only got so much time for like an hour and a half interview, and it's really fascinating to dive deep into somebody that you may have met on the range but don't know personally, or even people you know personally. Just you find out more about them. I think in a casual shooter style interview.
I agree, and that to me is what I find fascinating is their personal story, their personal history. So it looks like Roger had a pretty good run.
Yeah, Roger is no slouch. So I believe this is now Justin Fisher coming up.
All right. Yeah. Greg Zombak and Roger Elder are the only two without a scored error, if you want to call it a delta or worse.
Ah, wow. Well, I said Roger. We'll let Justin go.
Okay.
It may seem like a very small nitpick to the casual viewer, but one thing I noticed during Justin's run is that he spent a lot of time, I think, confirming that second shot after he took it on those targets.
Which targets? It's video's
I think
okay, but it's not that clear.
I think generally on the ones to the to stage right for sure. Those two behind the barrel stacks up against the wall.
Okay, gotcha. The now, so give us a little context here, Jay. How the steel on the right? How far is that shot?
Maybe 15. Probably not all the way to 20, but somewhere in that 15 to 20 range, I think. I didn't
Okay,
pace
so
it
not
out,
too
so
bad.
yeah, yep,
Okay, it looks
yeah. I
like
think this is an interesting. Go on.
it looks like the forward shooting box is bigger than it looked like in the stage I mean the matchbook, or is it what you would have expected?
I think it's about what I expected. Like big enough to move around in, but not gigantic.
Okay,
So up next we have Mike Ford wearing the D2 Customs jersey. I think he's running a D2 Customs gun now. Mike has been, again, a Pittsburgh area shooter for a long time. Certainly, he was well established when I started in 2017. At the time, then he was certainly like more on the fast and sloppy side of the spectrum, and I think that's still the style he prefers today. So we'll take a look at his run and see what happens.
here we go.
Maybe it's not the style he prefers anymore. That was controlled and efficient.
Oh, that's a good description. Open
I'm
major will be
taking my ear pro out to try and
interesting.
listen to the scoring real quick. Uh,
Okay,
let's see, I'm hearing a lot of two alphas. And a very points hungry performance from Mike Ford there.
nice.
Yeah, 1 for 1 on the two far steel. I believe 2 makeups on the crosser there on the left side of the Excalibur banner. But even so, seems like a pretty good run.
Okay, we'll have to see how it looks when we get the scores in.
I believe we have Isaac Grinberg up next, and looking at the squad list, I think that should be the last one on this squad.
That is correct.
Man, all the technical difficulties, it went by so fast.
Sure did.
Yeah.
So Mike Ford
Just
was fourth on that squad in that on that stage.
well, controlled and efficient, perhaps a little bit too controlled. Then again, it's tough to like David Leake, as I said earlier, is a pretty good competitor. I'd expect to see him in the upper echelon of the PCC rankings.
Oh, standing reload.
And unfortunately, it appears a standing steel as well there to the left side of that downrange wall on the right.
Okay, I can see it. Yep. Dang it.
So I don't know if that's. I'm pretty sure he shot at it. Maybe it was a bad call and he didn't come back.
Hmm. This is a. I think this is a tough stage if you're not really paying close attention. Because I've got 5, 7, 8,
Yeah, it's
8,
again kind of the
8
story of the
mics.
match. There are all kinds of little throttle control things, and yeah,
Yeah, 8 mics and 4 deltas on this stage for this squad before that shooter. And he is gone, but he should be right back. So I'm not going to switch scenes at the moment. I'm going to update practice score competitor app and see if oh shoot, there we go. Let's see. No, they haven't updated the score yet, but if the
the
steal
camera at
is
stage 2 and see if we can capture a run there.
okay. Welcome back, Jay. Bye, Jay. Grenberg had a mic also. It's 9 mics between everybody. All right, so stage 2. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. This is a 10 cardboard, 1 steel.
3 per as well.
Yeah, I was going to say it didn't make sense. 10 cardboard, but 31 shots. Yeah, it's a threeper.
It broke down in what turned out to be, I think, a very revolver-friendly way, which was nice to see.
It also looks like I'm seeing 4 different ports. Are there 4 ports in there? Like, do you
That
have
is
to
correct.
shoot?
So I'll swing the camera around.
Okay. Because it
I know.
looks like
So
one of
yeah,
the
we
ports, you're actually shooting through 2 of them.
yes, there is an option to do that from the back of the stage. So as we come around the corner here, you'll see in the back middle of the stage, a target kind of lines up right through those 2 ports. So you can finish the stage with 9 to 10 rounds from the back if you desire. You can also get on that right side of the stage the kind of center target and then the far right target at the very back from a port a little bit further up. Actually, you can see the competitors there now looking through that gap in the walls.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I see maybe squad 102 on the way down here. So I've got some drone battery left. So I'm going to I will keep it in the air. We'll kind of keep an eye on that walkthrough down there and see what we see.
See what we see. Okay.
One of the great things about this particular model of drone is I've got a nice 4x zoom that I can go in and out as much as I want, or rather as with as much granularity as I want. So from a I think a respectful distance, I'm keeping an eye on this squad and seeing how they're investigating this stage. Although it does appear they're now reading a stage brief, which is not riveting viewing, I agree. So maybe we'll
No, for sure.
take a look at the rest of the range, see what's up. So I believe there's was it meant to be some kind of event in the middle bays here? There might have been some Falling Steel World Series shootout. I could be misremembering that, but I think that's why the middle set are not in use, as I suppose Cardinal is fond of doing frequently.
Okay. So it's supposed to be going on the same time as this match?
I think so. I think so at Area 5 a couple of times they've had little side matches. And I guess actually, was it a Nationals that Shoot Sig came out?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. You can see the truck of match sponsor and staff feeder Southern Barbecue.
Mm-mm. Yummy, yummy.
It is good eating. So I did not have a burrito this morning because I was shooting and I didn't feel like weighing myself down that much. But I'm looking very much forward to having one tomorrow. A quick
So,
glance down at stage 6. Actually, I guess this is the squad we're still waiting on. So I suppose they are not quite ready to join us yet.
so this is the stage with the Y.
Yes, we can actually get a maybe a nice bird's eye view of that real quick. Yeah, it is a bit of a challenge. It was a bit of a challenge to break down in low cap. You'll probably see a lot of high cap shooters on this stage skipping this middle position, kind of where the camera's aimed directly at the notch in the Y.
Okay.
There's a gap in that wall. You can see that middle stack and a couple of other things through it. Low cap will probably want to stop there, take that middle stack in the back, and possibly the no shoot partial off to the left. Whereas high cap can go straight to the corners and get everything from there.
Okay. So, which of the steel on the left activates the mover on the right?
It is the big popper, so it's a stage where you're activating, then you're moving, and then you see the activator after that move.
Okay. So it's not the smaller steel that looks like you could probably shoot it from the right. It's the big one in the back where you have no
Correct. Yeah, that
access to.
that that
Okay.
small steel is necessary. Like you must get it from the
Right side.
yeah from the right side.
Okay.
Oop, looks like I think that was Squad 102 finishing. I think I see them wandering down now as we watch some competitors from perhaps tomorrow walking through this
Walking
one.
the stage. Okay. So this is squad 102 that we're about to watch.
Yep, we're going to do 102 on stage 1.
Okay.
And we'll kind of follow them down the range because we can.
It's like aerial surveillance. Oh boy.
So it's not visible on the output feed, but on the controller here I have a like a little crosshair in the middle of the screen, so it does very much have that surveillance feel to it.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Actually, we've had to talk to somebody briefly who was walking up to the car. All right, this is actually probably a good time to get a battery swap in while this squad is doing their walkthrough. So I'm going to bring the drone in real quick, and I guess I will be back and ready to be on the air in another couple of minutes.
Okay.
And
And there's Jay for your viewing privilege or
yeah,
pleasure.
lovely shot of Jay's legs.
Yeah.
So they're not Sourland quality, but they're okay.
From 2 to 3 inches above the ankle to the kneecap. Based on the view I saw of Jay there sitting at the edge of his car, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to play Angus Young in the documentary for AC/DC. He'll just air guitar it. Now, the reason, so the video froze here because he took the battery out of the drone, but he has an, he uses a phone in combination with the controller to operate the drone. And the phone is still giving you audio input, even though there's no video input. That's why you can hear stuff when you couldn't see anything and he took the battery out. Now he just totally lost video and audio feed. So I'm not sure what he did there. The audio is intermittent now. So squad 102. All right, so we've got at least 1, 2. Well, no wonder he wanted to follow 102. It's got a revolver shooter. Okay. I see his motivation. You back, Jay?
Yep, we
Okay.
should have video now. All right. Well, we've got a nice 4-minute walkthrough. So I might power the drone off. Well, I can leave it. It'll last.
A 4-minute walkthrough. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Just don't launch it yet. Just I would leave it right there. To be honest with you, I don't know that we need aerial footage of them walking through the stage.
Yeah, like I said, it's not strictly riveting viewing, but but yeah.
This squad is also law enforcement heavy. We've got 3 law enforcement
Pardon?
personnel in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness. Sorry, I spilled my Gatorade picking it up there just now.
Wow. Did does it stress you out when you hear law enforcement? Is that what the issue is, Jay? Does it make you nervous? So we have John Turner, A class, CO, carry optics, law enforcement. We have Adam Riedling, B class, carry optics, law enforcement. And we have Matt Musser, carry optics, B class, law enforcement. We have a couple master class shooters in Isaac McLaren shooting limited optics and Mike Shaw shooting revolver. And then we also have Kurt Yetman shooting carry optics. So we have 3 master class shooters. We've got a few A class, 3 law enforcement. Looks like 3 A class as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 B class, and a couple C class. So a little bit of everything. Megan Terry is the lone lady on this squad, C class, carry optics. Oof. And there's Angus Young again.
There. Now I can look at a camera.
There you. Well, you're only like 40 feet away. It looks like in the image. I
Well,
know you're
I
not
got
that
some
far.
zoom.
You're close.
Yeah, we so I set the drone down on a safe table for now. Hopefully nobody needs that, or else I'll have to go move it. But
Tell them it's occupied. You have to put the occupied sign
that's
like they
basically
have. Go ahead.
yes. It's the next best thing to a tripod.
There you go.
I think there's probably a a more comfortable way to sit in the back of my car than this, but there's also a lot of stuff behind me. So
So who do you know in this squad? Anybody?
let's see. So I've got Mike Shaw. Actually, is probably the first good revolver shooter I ever saw shoot. And so not at least like an Ohio area guy. I haven't seen him around much or didn't see him around much in 2024, but looks like he's putting together a pretty good day so far today.
Okay. What about Isaac McLaren?
Yeah, Isaac, met him a couple of times, in particular in the context of doing this sort of match media. So he's usually fun to watch. Typically a very, very quick on his feet and usually pretty quick shooting.
Okay.
Although again, I
And
said that about Mike Ford, and it's possible that Isaac has also developed in his style somewhat.
okay. What about Kurt Yetman?
Kurt Yetman, I don't know off the top of my head. I do believe I took notes, but I don't have that document open right now.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll pull it up for you. How about that? There we go. Kurt Yetman. Here we go. Well, man, sometimes I scroll and it goes way too fast.
Hmm.
Where are you at, Kurt? I just lost you. There we go. All right. Carry Optics Master joined USPSA 2014. First major appearance in your data isn't until 2024.
Yeah,
Most of
so
his
it's
career hovering around upper B, very solid Florida State, and finished in the same region as Ryan Wang or
it is
Wang.
it's fascinating. I suppose I probably can't say specific numbers because of where I got them, but the overwhelming majority of USPSA participation is at the local level. It's really like a huge margin that locals
Yes.
more people shoot locals than shoot majors. So it's not surprising to see people with a record like Kurt's, somebody who got to master, who shot matches for I don't know 20 or 10 years and only is coming to majors now. So I got the first shooter coming up. I have forgotten actually to see who this is. So I am going to we'll bring him into frame and then I will go ask an arrow.
Okay. Here we go. All right. While we wait for the video feed to come back, Squad 102, that's stage one. It's very heavy CO. 9 of the 12 are carry optics shooters. You've got a limited optics, a production, and a revolver. Any idea who that was, Jay? So we have a feed. I can hear audio, but I don't know that Jay's audio has joined the stream yet. Sometimes there's a lag in him hearing stuff. Oh, he may have walked away.
So it appears that was Adam Reidling,
Okay.
which is great. It
One
tells
of
us where we are in the squad.
it does. And it lets us know that, the first law enforcement. So next should be Mike Shaw and then Megan Terry. And then Vincent Thomason should be in the hole.
Excellent. Well, so that apparently breaks down very nearly only one way in revolver. That's almost exactly how I shot it.
Okay. Why do you say
Yeah,
almost?
the difference is. Go on.
No, I was just saying, why do you say almost? What was the difference?
So the difference is by the Excalibur banner there at the middle of the stage, where I believe Megan Terry is doing her final walkthrough. I went from left to right, starting on that open paper that's currently being taped, and then going to the popper, and then to those two targets by the barrel stack where the gentleman in the black shirt is currently standing. And then at the back, rather than reload all the way to the front left corner of that second shooting area, I took one step or so while reloading, did the double stack there. Um, this one right here, that
Yep.
double stack, and then I leaned forward to finish on this target.
Okay. So some minor differences, but
Yep.
mostly the same.
Yeah, very very much the same structure though. Yep. So Megan Terry here appearing at her second USPSA match, or her second major match rather. Um, her first being the 2024 Indiana Sectional.
Oh, the Indiana sectional. Okay. Mike had a mic on that one, a Delta L mic.
Yep. Looks like a little bit of a malfunction induced cutting short of the stage there, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask if she was having a malfunction up front, and then it looks like she had a big one in the back.
Yes, yeah, something that ended the stage there in the back of the in that second shooting area.
Okay.
Always sad to see.
Yes. Yes, it is. I had one that zeroed a stage at
I
nationals.
believe you said we had Vincent Thomason up next. Is it?
It is Terry. That is correct. Thomason is the shooter. Turner's on deck. Wingard is in the hole.
Oh, all right. Again, brief chat with a bystander there as you were giving us the order. So I think more even now than we did when we were running the studio show in the lobby at Red Feather. I could really use like an on air sign or like a live sign.
Right. Yes. I was just
Because
thinking that.
all these people I'd certainly be like pleased to talk to in any other scenario. Just yeah. Maybe I need a little T-shirt that says "I am on the air" or a hat. I believe we've got our competitor now making ready as the oh, do we?
No.
Ah, we just got a little a little RO discussion group over here beside the tent.
Okay.
I believe that's Dan Click as well with the Rangemaster, perhaps making a scoring call.
Uh-oh.
Or Dan Click, the
Oh.
Rangemaster, making a scoring call. Wonder where they're headed. Oh, possibly. We might have seen Megan Terry disqualify there.
Oh, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a
Well, we
first.
won't dwell on that.
No. Oh, Big Russ says they had a 180 on
Next door,
stage 12.
next door on stage 2, we'll see what's going on.
All right. Stage 2. Let's see. What is stage?
I thought we had a competitor up there in the shooting area, but maybe they forgot a magazine or something. And back here on 1, I think I see the ROs now prepping the stage for our next competitor, so we'll sadly have to skip stage 2.
I don't know why you didn't mount dual cameras on that thing, Jay.
Pardon?
I don't know why you didn't mount dual cameras and just have a video splitter so you could select which video
There you
you
go, yeah.
wanted to go with.
I think
I
that's
have
probably a
faith in
little
your
bit outside
ability
of my
to do
drone
that.
budget, sadly. So if you'll pardon the request for repetition, who do we have making ready now?
This should be, that was Megan Terry. This should be Thomason. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, pretty solid run there for what I believe is Vincent. Vincent's there, his first major match appearance. Looks like a pretty good run.
Nice.
I confess I'm getting a little bit into the brain fried region of the day, so I didn't see if he was 1-for-1 on steel, but
That's okay.
I
We
certainly
couldn't
didn't
either.
hear a lot of. I certainly didn't hear a lot of makeup shots.
So that should be Turner doing his walkthrough right now.
Could be. The name on the back of the Buckeye Blast jersey is quite small, so I can't tell if that is or not.
Right. So he is an A-class CO law enforcement competitor, Mr. John Turner. Right, looks like he's about to go. And I'm catching stage 2 bonus footage.
Yeah, a little bit over there in the corner.
Yeah, I like that. You could almost move to the right edge of this stage and catch both of them.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah. 1 for 1 on steel. Quick.
So definitely 1 for 1 on the poppers, and he also chose the very aggressive option of entering on the 2 far poppers there at the back right position, which he made it work. That was an impressive pair of targets to choose to enter on.
All right, we'll have to see how he does then in the standings for the stage. See if he surpasses Adam and Mike. Let me hit the old refresh button here.
So
Vincent
after
Thomas, and
Turner, we should have.
after
Go
Turner
on.
comes Wingard. So Thomason so
Oh,
far
Wingard's an
of
interesting one. So,
go
oh,
ahead.
go on.
No, go right ahead.
I was only going to say Wingard, a very interesting competitor in that his average match placement's substantially higher than his average stage finish percentage, which suggests that he just shoots a very similar score on every stage and lets that consistency take advantage of people who make mistakes.
Right. Whereas you have someone who might be 85 on one stage and then 55 the next stage, he ends up with a better average of the two.
Conceivably, yeah.
Yeah.
I probably need to graph that in some better way to say that for sure, but I think that's the most likely explanation.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine. Because, yeah, you're right. His C class match finish you have is 89%, but yet if you go by stage, his average is 77. So that means other people are having bigger swings and he doesn't.
Correct.
Or at
Yeah.
least
At
that's
least
what
that,
I'm
like I said,
assuming. Yeah.
that's my take. Yeah. Really, I need a standard deviation as well.
What is this, an ammo test?
So I can confirm we're on the right track squad wise because the name on the back of this jersey is Winnie, which sounds very much like our Chris Wingard.
Yes.
The kind of
And
nickname you'd put on the back of your match jersey.
John Turner, so far of the people who have shot, he has done the best on this stage. Best shooting, best score.
So I got a good view of Chris's transitions on that first array, the one he took from the back right of the shooting area. Sitting here on the back of my car, I can kind of see right over the shooter's shoulder there, and man, those were some crisp transitions, laser like snap to the next target, confirm the sights, pull the trigger, and so forth.
Wow. Did he slip a $10 in your bill in your pocket? That's
I
pretty good. That's
will
pretty
say I
strong.
will, I will say they weren't they weren't the fastest transitions in the world, but they were very crisp.
Very nice. Good for him. Good job.
Yeah, yeah. I think we probably get one more shooter on this battery, and we got to switch for the last couple.
All right. So we have Yetman, and then we return to the top of the order. So Yetman is your shooter. Burton is on deck, and Carrera is in the hole.
And I guess we're probably getting then down toward the end of this squad. I guess we'll have
Yeah.
in not in order necessarily Musser, Parks, and McLaren after them, after Burton
Yes.
and Carrera. I made a joke to an RO as I was taking a picture of the squad list earlier today, as the list of shooters on a squad rather, that it's much faster doing that than alphabetizing in my head. But after a squad or two of alphabetizing in my head, I think I'm getting pretty good at it.
All right, let me hit the old refresh here.
You know, one of those skills you don't realize you have until you test it.
Right. And do it over and over and over. Okay, now it
Well,
looks
it was a
like
very
when he,
fascinating.
yeah, it looked like when he hit the Excalibur banner and came around that left side, he engaged that steel pretty quickly and dropped it with one shot.
I would agree. I think so. There was fascinatingly, and on that right side of the stage, there was a makeup on the first paper he shot, but not the steel.
I think he got it back. He's Polish. He got it backwards. Yeah, I mean, assuming the scoring is good, I would say he had a good stage run.
It was, I think, slightly different from other ones I've seen, but smooth in a good way.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
the the old adage about smooth being fast is widely regarded as bunk. Fast is fast, and fast may potentially be smooth, but they're not the same thing. But in that case, I think it was both fast and smooth.
there you go.
And we're up to, I believe, David Burton.
I think I'm going to say this because I know the whole smooth, fat or smooth is whatever, the whole smooth thing. But if you look at really good high level shooters, they all look smooth when they shoot. There's no wasted movement. There's no
Yeah.
inefficiency. It looks very
hmm
smooth. So,
I think typically what I would say is they don't necessarily look fast. They
right.
they go to the places and shoot the things. And sometimes while moving between the things, they also shoot the things.
This is probably the crispest video stream I've seen yet. This right here is solid. Fingers crossed.
We got a fairly solid run there by David Burton. Best known, I think I said in my notes, as a revolver guy. He's got 271 stages there, which is more even than me. And I shoot a lot of revolver stages. Although, I suppose between Burton and Shaw, that's two of the most active revolver competitors at major matches since 2018. Shaw actually has the lead on revolver stages. I think at 348 or something like that. He certainly earlier on in his career, he got her out an awful lot.
Wow. So it looked like though when he first started engaging the steel, he was having some makeups there.
Yes, I think I would agree that. I think I'd agree that it was probably a bit of deciding to give himself enough patience after that first makeup on the far steel.
Mm-hmm.
Two on the paper, a miss on the first steal, a makeup, and then he went clean. I think the rest of that position.
The video stream was clear enough that I could see when he transitioned to the paper because I could see the impact in the dirt behind the paper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I am very close at the moment to the base station. I could probably like about a 9 iron away, probably maybe a little longer.
Yeah, but the earlier ones weren't as clear. So
Hmm.
something has changed because it's much clearer now.
It could just be the weather's cooled off a bit. Maybe the controller's cooling down after all the direct sun it had previously.
So this should be Inaki Carrera.
Yep, that is what the back of his shirt says. I guess I can read them from here. Thanks to the crystal clarity of Hunter's HD Gold, who's not paying us for this, but it seems like the kind of thing somebody would say in this context. So I think Carrera there at again on the back right position, not totally sure of that of the call on one of those steal. He transitioned back to it before he left.
Okay. Yeah, while he was shooting, I was looking over here at Practice Score Competitor app because
Mm.
Chris Wingard and David Burton, both shooting CO, both B class, had almost the same time. Wingard had a 3.124, Burton had a 3.164, and the real difference in points was while Wingard beat him by, 4/10 of a second in time, he also had two more alphas.
Mm.
So ended up getting about
Yeah, especially
4.38 more points for the stage.
yeah, especially on these bigger, slower stages, you want to be points hungry.
Yeah.
This, I think, I need to look at the scores from the leaders, but I think this is going to come across as a very low hit factor match in the end. There's a lot of positional shooting, a lot of stopping and starting, things that tend to drive hit factors down.
So would you say it's more IPSC style?
Maybe it's tough to say. I don't think I've shot
Okay.
enough kind of true European IPSC to say,
Okay.
but it's definitely it is a very cardinal style, certainly of match, which makes sense. They're the guys putting this one on.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And up now we've got Isaac McLaren. Uh,
Here we go.
Again, one of the names we've been one of the names I was looking to get today. So we'll get to take a look and see how he chooses to tackle this one.
Limited optics master class shooter. Let's see what we've got over here.
Oop.
Saw him a
I
lot in
think I might
limited
have lost.
optics last year. He was 31st at nationals. Okay.
Interesting. I've lost my video stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's frozen. Oh, and Jay is gone. Dag nabbit. Well. So, oh,
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to reboot the drone and the controller real quick.
okay. So while we
Oh,
wait for Jay to do that, talking about Isaac McLaren, who we were hoping to see run, but technical difficulties. It's all good. He was 31st last year at nationals in limited optics, fourth at Area 2, fifth at Florida State. And Buckeye Blast last year was his best match where he finished third. So Good for him. I'm assuming in limited optics. I'm reading Jay's notes from the document. So give it about another minute, roughly 30 seconds to a minute, and I'll have score update in Practice Score competitor app, and we'll see how he did. And unless Megan Terry is doing a reshoot, I would say she probably has been disqualified because she shot a while back, and Practice Score competitor app still has
Yep.
0.00, like she didn't shoot the stage at all yet.
Interesting.
So could be that she
Well, Dave, I
has
think I
a
might be.
reshoot.
I think it's that was a bit of a drone issue I had there, so I'm probably offline now.
Okay. Offline with the drone.
Yep. Yeah, I'll have to take a look and see what happened there, and see about getting back on tomorrow.
Okay. Well,
All right.
before you go,
Yeah.
um, actually, go ahead and go put your stuff away. I'm going to hang on here for a minute and then join me back in and let's talk for a few minutes about tomorrow and then we'll call it a night.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. All right. There we go. We'll get that off your feed there. All right. So just to kind of give Jay some time to put his gear away and we'll just talk for a few minutes with him. Um, Yeah, it looks like unfortunately we may. I don't know if Megan Terry has a reshoot, which is a possibility, hopefully. But let's see how Mr. McLaren did on his. Oh, there you go. He did well on that one. Wow, he's currently second overall on that stage with a time of 21:77, 24 alphas, and 7 Charlies. So roughly 80% alpha. So not bad. Pretty darn good. So right now, whoever is first on that stage, he's at 99.81 of that individual. So good for him. Looking good. Good job. And it looks like there's still two people left to shoot, Matt Musser and Jason Parks. And that would be it unless Megan has a reshoot. So let's just do that. Let's hit the refresh button here. All right, so it was so he's second only to Joey. So there we go. Okay. So Jay's back on. Yeah, we should probably close this out soon anyway. We've been live from this one for almost 3.5 hours.
Yeah, and the very last couple of shooters over there on stage one are just about wrapping up, I think.
Okay. All right. So tomorrow we have the all day squad, which is Wampler, Viegler, or Vlieger, John Vlieger. Look, I'm getting tongue tied here now.
It's been a long day.
Grosby, yeah. So plus these guys have to shoot the other half of the match tomorrow. So by
That's
noon
correct. Yeah.
tomorrow, we'll have a much better picture of how things are unfolding.
And what we should expect, I suppose, as far as final scores, certainly on the first six stages here. That's what that all day squad, the Liger Wampler Garosby squad, will be shooting in the morning.
Yeah, agree. So be a lot more action. Anything that you're looking forward to specifically tomorrow?
Well, I think in particular, it's going to be a very spotty day for this kind of live coverage because the weather is supposed to take a turn for the less good, I guess we'll say. The forecast right now calls for rain for most of tomorrow. Hopefully, we've got some clear patches we can fly in, but I think we're very likely going to be limited to this half of the range tomorrow. So when I have all of my AV gear inside the building, uh, this is about as far as it reaches. It won't go all the way to the the dirt berms rather, at the far side of the range.
Okay. I think that's okay though.
Yep. No, I think we
There's
there's a lot to like on this. A lot to like on this in this zone, and a bunch of good stages. Think that should yield some good footage. Again, provided the weather cooperates.
yes, I would actually like to see some drone footage of 3 with all that steel. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, that proved to be an interesting one. Certainly, the presence of all that steel in front of the steel no shoot makes for almost a Virginia count experience on on that stage.
Okay.
Yep.
And real quick, stage 4 is the lateral movement from box to box. What did you think of that? That's got the drop turner and a swinger.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting one. The main difficulty there is, well, certainly from a coverage perspective, is that all the movers here have little tents over them to protect them from the weather. So from above, there's not a lot to see. That said, if there are patches of clear stuff, we might be able to find a place to put the drone where we can see kind of into the houses to watch as the movers move and the competitors engage them. As far as stages go, it was a pretty good one. There's a little bit of timing involved in stepping off that first plate and picking the right target to shoot first, picking when to go for that drop turner, and then the swinger is pretty sporty, and the bobber, I thought the bobber goes high, but bobbers have always been a specialty of mine. So
Okay, so you have a swinger, a drop turner, and a bobber.
yes, swinger on the left, drop turn in the center, of course, and the bobber on the right.
Okay, because it looks like in the diagram it's a clamshell. Okay, it's a bobber. Okay,
Yep.
okay, it'll be interesting. So looking
It
at
will. It's
the
going to be a good day tomorrow, I think.
yeah, all right. Well, Jay, appreciate you baking yourself and standing in the elements.
I
So
appreciate you running the booth. Couldn't do this solo. I think in either case, it's been a good team
no,
effort so far. And I look forward to making more of it happen tomorrow.
sounds good. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Look, pay attention to the Instagram page. We'll let you know what the schedule is of when we're going live. All right, everybody, have a good evening. Be safe, Jay.